Hi, welcome back. It's been almost a month, I think. Um, I have you elevated on this little sign that says "Dogs welcome, people tolerated," and that's about as amazingly me as it gets. But also, like, hello, look how I'm not slouching to look down. And I've been watching the videos, and I'm like, guys, slouch a lot. And then, literally, in this moment when I was setting this up to record, I realized that maybe I'm slouching so much because I'm looking down at my camera. So I had this brilliant idea of trying to put it up. And also now I'm acutely aware of how crooked my nose is because I'm staring at myself like straight on. This is a whole thing. So I don't know how many times I'm going to mess with my hair during this, but here we is. So I guess it's episode like 17 of It's Loud in Here. And I tried to record one of these a couple weeks ago. And I had my phone on Do Not Disturb because I learned a lesson there. And my friend called me twice during the Do Not Disturb. And on that second phone call, it pushed right through and stopped me like 28 minutes of talking. And I had done this thing where I had notes and I had this list of stuff I was going to talk about. And so I was super organized and ready to do it. And then she called and it stopped. And so I didn't put it out. And so we're not going to do that again. So welcome back. It's been a minute. Life has been busy. It's a busy I created for myself. I've been playing a lot of softball. I had a tournament a couple weeks ago. 2 weekends, very specifically. It was 2 weekends ago. I had a tournament. It was a recovery tournament. It was 21 teams. I figured out mathematically that 4 of those teams are teams, like full teams that I play on or play with. Like currently between all 3 of the leagues I play in, like 10 of the teams or then like 6 other teams are teams where at least one player is on a team I play on. So of those 21 teams plus the team I played on in that thing, 11 of the teams are people so that's a lot. And we were in the lower bracket, which was fine because it was a team of people that I'd never played before. And I had these amazing moments with sports that I hadn't had before because I am competitive. I can be a good sport about losing because I'm not a dick. And losing with grace is something that everybody should be able to do. Because I've I did that whole like, here are my tattoos. I don't know if I ever actually went over this one, but I am the white knight of my own fairy tale. Save yourself. Eeyore, man, we can't all and some of us don't. That's all there is to it. Generally, someone's probably going to be better than you at something because, someone's going to be better than you at it, right? Like, I am athletic and I'm a pretty decent ball player, but I would have never made it. I shouldn't have made the varsity team, especially after I lost my confidence as a kid. I figured out I gave away my confidence when I was a teenager now. So I thought that it was recently, I gave more of it away, but I think pretty much when I was a freshman in high school and I didn't get onto the JV team, that was just when I started to lose the faith that I knew how to play softball, the only sport I'd ever really been good at. So, it's because people were better than me, though. And the knowledge that people are better than you can help you be a gracious loser because sometimes you're just not going to be the best, and that's okay. But so we were in the lower bracket, and I got to watch 2 girls on my team who had never played before, and the joy on their faces when they did anything right, man. I literally had me in tears at one point. I felt so gay. Like my little friend Maggie, man, she's never played before, and she caught a pop up at catcher on accident in the first day. Like literally just put her glove up and landed in there. It was fluke. It was not on purpose. It was adorable. And then the second day she tried and she caught the ball. Like she got up, she looked for it, and she caught this pop fly. And it was the biggest deal. And my eyes just welled with tears. And watching her and this girl Joey hit the ball and run the bases, it was just the best thing to watch. And that was growth, and it was really early in the morning and it was really sweaty and there were all these gnats and it was super uncomfortable. And I like my growth, midday to evening. I feel is a comfortable time to have some growth, not in the morning. That's disgusting. Ugh. And we played a team that was full of people from one of the local rehabs. They have this New Horizon program, which is guys out of prison and women out of prison from the 8505 and 8507 program. It's basically the rehabilitation program, and people with drug charges can go to rehabs and then get acclimated back into society. And so most of those guys were either going back to prison or to the rehab. And I was going home to 3 dogs. And so they beat the brakes off us because they were better. But also, like, I got to go home to 3 dogs and they didn't, a lot of them, right? And so I didn't want to lose, and they earned that win, man. They did. They beat us solidly. They earned that win. But knowing what it meant for them to be out playing softball for 2 days solid was, it was bigger. It's just some things are bigger. So it was a really fun tournament. I got really sunburnt. again because I just been sunburned, and then this past 3 days ago, I guess it's Wednesday the 30th. It's like 3 days ago. We didn't have that many people sign up to play this weekend at my Sunday league, and so I showed up early just in case, and I played 4 games back to back. And I don't know where you guys are, but Sunday was Satan. It's Satan's asshole hot, man. Sunday was just ugh. Just you moved and just moisture just pulled out of your body, man. It was aggressive. And I learned that my limit in kind of heat like that without a break and without any shade is 3 games. I 3 games, and then at game 4 I was like, well, and I just, man, I'm 43. But so I've been playing a ton of softball, and I played Monday, and I'm taking back my confidence, and I've been playing great, and it's so fun to be good at softball again and know that I'm good. And because I know that I'm good, I'm playing better, and it is fun. It is tiring. I am tired, but I'm not sore. And that's the other crazy thing, because I literally think I might actually be in shape. I don't know what that shape is. On Sunday during those 4 games, the catcher on the other team, she blocked the base path. She blocked the base path, and I was running home, and I might be slow, but I also don't do a very good job of stopping on a dime. And I tried to kind of grab her and maneuver. There was no maneuvering, man, and I dropped her right on her back, and she smiled when she was on the ground. I didn't hurt her or anything, but I knocked the shit out of her, and she was like, I didn't think you could do that. And I might look skinny, but there's muscles hiding under here, and I've been playing all softball, and I'm not getting sore, so that's got to tell you something. So, yeah, I've been doing a lot of that, and I had all these celebrations for friends in AA. 10 years, 4 years, 11 years, 13 years, but all an hour away, because I have made all these friends that don't live in Frederick, Maryland. And so I'm driving an hour to go hear them celebrate and share in the amazingness of recovery and how it can work if you want it, except they're an hour away. And so I did a lot of driving last week and the week before. And I ended up taking off yesterday and Monday to try to just get some of my brain back, because I've just been going at 90 miles an hour. And it was really nice. And I woke up today and I actually didn't feel like a gigantic sack of potatoes. So that was kind of neat. So yeah, that's basically what's going on in my life. My dogs, softball, celebrations for friends. It's been nice. It's crazy though, because at some points I'm like, why am I doing? And it's always to myself. Like, I make the busy, and it's some of the healthiest busy I've ever had in my life. It's not nonstop work. It's not, going out and drinking, obviously. It's none of the unhealthy stuff I used to do that was sucking the life out of me. It's really, really healthy, and it's fun, and it's joy filled. And I got asked to play on a team Monday nights in the fall, and I'm not going to play on the Hagerstown team again. So I am going to play on a team in Frederick, which, how nice of me to pick a softball team to play on that doesn't have a long commute. Look at me giving myself and my car a break. And then I'm going to still play on the Sunday league, and Fridays when my nephew doesn't have varsity football games, I'm going to go down to Virginia, or I'm going to go out to Glen Burnie and play on that. So I'm not lessening my busy a little bit. I don't know, man. It feels good to be healthy. It feels good to be busy. And when I first got sober, I sat down a lot. I didn't do much, and figuring out that there's a lot of things you can do, and just trying to find the fun, because you really do think that everything is wrapped up in drinking and drugs if you like them. I don't know many people who don't like drugs. Saw this meme the other day, and it was like, the gym is the best drug I've ever had. And I was like, well, I commented on it, and I was like, I get that, but I feel like ecstasy might have been better, because ecstasy. Yeah, so man, that's it. Just being busy and trying to stay. I'm trying to remember that I'm happy, right? Because some of the news is just morose, and there's a lot going on, like a lot. Because every day, like South Park just came back. I don't know if you guys watched. I legitimately, like right after Trump was inaugurated, I made a Facebook post and I was like, South Park, where are you? Like, this shit is gold, right? Because South Park makes their episodes start to finish in a week, and they use what's happening in the world, because it is, it's satire, and it's brilliant, and I've always loved that show. I've some of the funniest things I've ever seen are in fact on that show. Like in softball the other day, this guy Will was talking a whole bunch of trash to everybody on the field, and I was like, "You remind me of the episode where Cartman figures out that if he puts food up his butt, he can poop out his mouth." And like Mr. Marsh literally takes an entire rotisserie chicken and shoves it up his ass, and a turd. And that was all I could think of when Will was talking shit, was just the poop. So the newest South Park man, it's just because this administration has just handed them like hand over fist, just actions and actions and actions and actions. And this stuff most recently, if you'll go all the way back to episode 1 of mine, where I talk about how Donald Trump, I was like, if you want someone on the Epstein list, which you constantly talk about, I was like, it's Donald Trump. Well, here we are, and it's never going to come out, and they're never going to do it, and they're going to pardon Ghislaine Maxwell, which is crazy because she was convicted of child trafficking. The whole thing's really disgusting, and at the core of it, what it shows me once again is that women and girls don't matter. Because we just prove over and over again that women and girls don't matter. We like to say they do, but they don't, especially when you're rich. But yeah, so South Park came out, and they just hammered it, man. They made fun of everything, and it was brilliant. And I loved it so much. I laughed the whole time. I told someone, I was like, I basically just orgasmed watching the entire thing because it was so apropos. They're just great, and they're just great, and they were handed so much ammunition by what's going on recently. There's a lot of sad stuff. Like we had this big flooding. I'm so late to the thing. I had this whole thing at one point, like a few weeks ago, when I talked about this, because this countryman cracks me up with its thoughts and prayers. And so we have this huge flood in Texas, and hundreds of people are missing and dying because it's a huge flood. And Texas, coming in hot with the measles. And now you're not prepared for the weather because, just Texas. And then everyone's like, thoughts and prayers for Texas. And I just reserve my thoughts and prayers for mass shootings in elementary schools, because I mean, I think they deserve it more, because we're never going to do anything about the guns. Although I did hear this thing about how they're creating drones, right? There are these drones out that they're going to put in schools. I think they're going to test out. Just going to Texas. So they're going to test it out in Texas, and these drones, I think they take out the shooter or something in the school shootings. So instead of doing any gun reform, they have created a drone to go into the schools to handle the shooter, which actively needs, like, this technology is only valid as long as there are school shootings. So nothing is going to change. So Second Amendment, the only amendment that we care about anymore within our Constitution, because everything else is just up for bunk. So yeah, I just keep listening to all these people, because there's all this stuff that no one's happy about, right? Like no one is happy that the Epstein files aren't going to be released, and no one is happy with the way immigration was portrayed when he was running, about how they were going to pick up the criminals. And he's released a bunch of criminals, and they're just picking up a bunch of people who should have an opportunity to become citizens. Just a lot of stuff has been really gross, and I would hope that the people that I know that voted for him, based on what he said, would understand why what's happening is not the same as what he said was going to happen, and see how the execution is not what is actually best for the country. But in any case, we also have what's going on in Gaza, and basically the United States has been Israel's puppet forever, right? And I 100%, when October 7th happened and Hamas attacked Israel, and I know that the Palestinians are not Hamas, but when they attacked and they kidnapped all those people, Israel said, we're going to bomb here, looking for Hamas, move, get out of the way, right? And they tried to get Hamas and whatever. And that was 2 years ago, just about. And I understood when they did it then. But now, and for months now, what they've been doing for well over a year and a half, I mean, they just, for perpetuity, because it's a police state, just those people, man, they're eradicating an entire population, and we're supplying funds. And people have been speaking out about it for a really long time. You've got Jewish people speaking out against it, because it's not an anti-Semitic thing. This is an anti-Netanyahu thing. And two things can be true at one time. You can be super proud of the Jews. You can be super proud to be Jewish. You can absolutely want an independent Israel, like a free state. And you can absolutely understand that they should not have complete control over Palestine. Also, they should not be eradicating an entire people, which is what is happening in Gaza, and we should not be funding it. So I listen to all these things, though, where we're upset about the Epstein files, we're upset about Gaza, we're upset about ICE, we're upset about the amount of money Trump is spending to go golfing. And like Scotland's upset now because they're apparently going to give the United States 180 million pounds or something. And we all pay taxes. Like, that is a thing. Like, countries pay taxes. And no one has said, like, everybody's got all these things. Like, you have to speak out. You have to keep showing the news, and you got to keep spreading the message. Why hasn't anybody said stop paying your taxes? Why hasn't anybody said go to your taxes and raise all your exemptions and cut off the government? If we don't like the way they're spending our money, why don't we cut off all of our money? It's taxation without representation. If we, as the people, even the people that voted for him, and I'm not saying all of them because I know that some people follow the man blindly. I know that some people won't see anything wrong with the way he's doing things. They won't understand the way tariffs work, what the economy does. They won't understand. They won't understand what gerrymandering is in Texas. They won't understand the way he's withholding some aid to some states, but not all of them, which is only super illegal because all those states pay federal taxes. So whether or not he likes Governor Newsom in California, that doesn't matter to the people that live there that pay federal taxes, right? So like all these things that he's doing, whether or not you agree with the man 100%, I know those people will never understand what I'm saying here, but if every single person who did not agree with the policies that are happening, even the ones that have voted for him just because they thought that life was hard under Biden and thought maybe it would get better under Trump and are realizing now that everything they thought was bullshit, if they just go and they amplify all of their exemptions, we cut off the funds to the government. We control all of their money, all of the money that they constantly spend, where we're like, you're spending our money where we don't want you to. Like Doge comes in, right? We're like, look at all the money they're saving us. They're not saving us a fucking cent because we're not getting any of it back. The money that they saw that they cut had already been spent, first of all. Second of all, they are still paying those employees that they said they fired. They're all getting paid at least through September, or they've got their furlough, whatever. On top of that, they didn't give any, we didn't get any of that money back. They didn't see any misspenditures and say, you know what we should do? We should give that back to the public. That's not real, right? So why don't we just cut off our fucking funding? Why don't we literally say, enough is enough? If you're not going to do what we as a people want, if you're never going to listen to us, if you're going to put people into play that we don't like consistently because you don't actually listen to us, ever, why don't we just cut off the fucking funds? What are they going to do? Are they going to arrest all of us? Doge fired a whole bunch of fucking people in the IRS, and now the IRS is being used. They're being used. I don't know how they're being used for the illegal immigrants because supposedly they don't pay taxes. Aha! But why don't we just cut off their fucking funds and call it a day? If we cut off the money, they can't do the things we don't like. Taxation without representation. It is the Boston Tea Party, except it's everything right now that they're doing that we don't want them to do. And we can march in the streets and we can wave our signs and we can post things on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube and all the things. But at the end of the day, they still have the power. And they're still going to do whatever they want to. And they still have their button on the weapons. And no one will say anything against Donald Trump and what he wants. No one will say anything against Israel. No one will stop the pedophiles. No one will stop the child trafficking. No one will stop the rapes. I mean, that, the Texas governor or the Texas representative who's super anti-abortion, like, pushed an anti-abortion bill for 6 weeks. Anti-6-week abortions, right? And he's got a side chick. 3 abortions he's paid for her. Because the rich are not us. And I listened to somebody talking on a podcast recently, and he was talking about how it's not us versus them, Republicans and Democrats. It's top down. It's the poor versus the rich. And until anybody out there really understands that, besides maybe me and the 3 people that might actually listen to me and understand what I'm saying, we don't matter. And we need to cut them off. And that is money. And I just don't understand why no one with an actual platform of more than 72 followers on YouTube hasn't said, raise your exemptions and cut off their fucking funds. Just cut them off. I don't get it. So I've been thinking about that, how we should cut them off at the knees and just take away the money. Just take away the money. I've also been thinking a lot about, I liked it. Last time I did this, I called it what in the white people, what in the dumb white people. And prior to that, I was going to call it what in the white trash. Either of these things might fucking work if I'm honest about it. But I've had an issue with this for years. Filters on Facebook and Instagram. First of all, if you have children and you take a picture of yourself with your children and you have a filter on, your children don't have wrinkles. Your children don't need filters. Your children do have noses. Stop with the filters. You have a nose. You have a whole ass nose and you just blur it out to hide your wrinkles. I don't ever use filters. I'm glad that I aged well. I'm lucky and I know that, and I've got confidence in my face sometimes. I mean, I don't know what it's gonna look like because I didn't shower after I got off work today. I ate some Firehouse. I watched an episode of The Summer I Turned Pretty because the new season is out. And then I came to do this before I don't do this because it's been almost a month. These filters are wild. They are wild. And I literally, like, I thought maybe we would come away from this after a while, but literally, if you died, I wouldn't be able to identify your body because it's not your face. It's not your face. And then you have the people who do like the 10-year challenge and it's with a filter, man. And then, like, you don't have friends. So, like, I lost like 20 pounds during COVID. Because I did. I lost like 20 pounds, and then I went through and I tried on all of my clothes. I mean, all of them, because I gave a bunch away, which came back and bit me in the ass when I gained it all back again. But now I don't. Now I don't have any of those clothes. But so I gave away all those clothes. But at the time, I tried on all these clothes that I'd had for years, and some of them actually fit. And I thought about it, and these clothes had not fit, which meant I was fat guy in a little coat in a fucking lot of clothes, and nobody told me. Nobody told me what I looked like. I was just a fat guy in a little coat, and that was when I realized that I had no real friends. And so these people with these posts where it's like, this is what I looked like before, and this is what I looked like after for 10 years, especially if the first photo was when they were using. And they're like, oh my God. Oh my God, you just look so good. I can't believe that's you. It's amazing. You should just always stay clean and sober. No, little fucking stupid. They are not your friends. And the fact that they absolutely are like, oh my God, thank you. Thank you so much. No, it's a filter. And everybody knows it's a filter. And then these people just blow smoke up your ass and you look like an asshole. You and your friend who both don't have noses in your picture. What in the fucking white trash? And I don't see it so much in other races. You know why? Because other races just age better because melanin. But, ew, I hate that. I hate that so much. I hate it. It drives me nuts. And it's probably because, again, I haven't aged too badly and I do have confidence sometimes in my face. And so maybe people don't. And so maybe they use a filter, but that's not what you look like. That's not what you look like ever. And you can use a filter on every photo you have, but that still is not your face. And so then when I see you in public and I literally don't know who you fucking are, and you look at me like I am nuts, it's not me, it's your no filter face. Because you don't look like that in real life. You have a nose. You have a nose. And I'm not going to know your kids either because they don't have a nose in your pictures because you use a filter on children below the age of 7. Why? Why? I just don't get it. I just don't get it. And then I had a moment a couple weeks ago where this girl that loves to relapse, so this is more like what in the recovery white trash. I'm not mad at her for relapse. People do this shit all the time. But every time she relapses at like 4 months clean, she goes on Facebook and she makes this post about how amazing it is. I just have never felt this good. I've never known this much peace. God is so good. It's amazing. And I know I've said on here before that whenever somebody does that shit and they're new, I'm like, I'll see you soon, right? Like that doesn't bode well in my head. But these people with the constant relapsing, do me a favor, stop it. Because every time they come back, like they're doing it because they need people to boost them up. They need people to be like, oh my God, I'm so happy for you. I'm so glad you stopped smoking crack again. Good for you. Most of the known world doesn't smoke crack ever, and they just get by. Do yourself a favor. Stop doing this every 4 months and just don't smoke crack and live well and be happy and show people that the program works by becoming a better human and show them later. Don't constantly be the person who every 4 months is like, I just have never known so much peace. I've never been in such a good place. I just love myself today. Shut up. Just don't smoke crack. You don't need people to tell you that you're good for not smoking crack. Just don't smoke crack. It's okay. Stop it. Every time. Every time. And I know this is my bullshit. I know this is my bullshit. And it doesn't get on everybody's nerves. But Lord, every single time. Every time. It just happens. And I just want to shake them and be like, it is okay to recover quietly. It is okay to be the person who just shows up one day and is better and didn't tell anybody what was happening because you have constantly been the girl who has cried sober. So just recover quietly and live better and prove everybody wrong because this is who you are every other time. Stop. Just stop. Yeah. So that's my what in the dumb white trash. Yeah. I have a wedding coming up in September. Two of my friends are getting married. It's my first wedding in a while. I might try to sober dance. Ugh, I've never been a sober dancer ever. By the time I was done drinking, I was always behind the bar, and so I stopped learning how to drunk dance. Because in college, I wiggled, man. I was a wiggler. I danced on bars. I danced on speakers, kicks. I don't. Nobody on here went to college with me, but kicks down at Virginia Tech. I used to love that club. So I would wiggle, and I stopped wiggling when I became a bartender because I was always behind the bar. So I haven't figured out how to sober wiggle yet, but maybe I'll try at this wedding. Uh, it's hot. I guess we're coming into a nice cool thing for the next few days, and I'm super excited about it. It has been suck your soul hot for a few days now, and it's just hot. I mean, the hot's fine. The muggy's a bit much. I don't want it to be winter anytime soon. I'm really enjoying being tan. I'm super tan. I'm got some really stupid tan lines from softball, but I'm happy that I'm outside as much as I am. I don't have anything big planned for the rest of the summer. There's no vacations or nothing. Just sit in the house and try not to lose my mind. I think I had something to say in there and I forgot. I definitely forgot. My first nephew turned 16 in 2 days, and that makes me feel super old. Cause I mean, I guess that happens to everybody, but that makes me feel really, really, really old. And I'll be 44 in December, so I'm way past halfway now. And I was thinking about that. I've lived in Maryland for 19 years now. Who would have thought? And I never thought I'd be like, this is a great state because it's safe for women, but it's safe for women because it's safe for women. And it's ridiculous that I have to explain why. Like my masseuse, she's got a daughter, and she was trying to explain to her daughter how as she gets older and decides where she wants to live, she needs to pay attention to the women's laws for bodily autonomy. And her daughter, who is just graduated high school, just said, I know that I will never have the rights to my own body. And that's just sad. Because, we're humans. And I just don't know how I just can't have the right to decide what happens to my own body as a human. Not as a woman, just as a human being. It's unfathomable that we are still at a place where I have to have an amendment. This is going to be a short one, I guess. I don't know that I really have anything. I'm going to look at my list. I did the thoughts and prayers that I reserve. Dumb white people stuff. I have a whole thing right here. I think this is major fuckers on Facebook. Oh, mega fuckers! Oh, I got in a thing with a dude on Facebook and I ended up blocking him. God, man, this guy. I posted a thing. I don't know why MAGA people do this to me, man. It's like they think they're going to change my mind or something. And he responded, and then I was talking to somebody else, and it was pretty much, we ended up talking like about, it was about the Epstein files, I think. And I was saying how I watched a movie where a chick was raped. And I mean, I have feelings about watching women raped because I've been raped, right? So of course I have a reaction to it because of course I have a reaction to it. So I said in this thing, I was watching this woman get raped and I couldn't help but wish. And I don't actually literally mean wish, but I did. I was like, what is it? If ifs and buts were candy and nuts, I would have partied be. So I was like, I wish that all men could be raped, and then the problem would be solved. I don't mean that. There are a lot of men in my life that I love a lot. I love a lot of men. I've got a lot of guy friends. My dad. I don't want my dad to be raped. My best friend Russ. I've got all these people that I love so much. I would never want them to be raped. However, what we know as women is that if we want something to actually be worried about, it's got to happen to men. It's not going to happen to women. I mean, we still have mammogram machines. That's still the only way they figure out if we have breast cancer is those awful fucking machines. They just don't care about women the way they care about men. So I shared that. I was telling her on that same post. And that man went off on me and was like, you seriously wish for all men. And I was like, man, I'm not being literal. And then he was like, well, that's what you said. First of all, man didn't understand what the word literal meant. And then he was like, what if your clients knew that you wish sexual assault on men? I was like, first of all of my clients know me. They've all talked to me. They all know I'm an alcoholic. We've all had conversations. Second of all, what in the fuck? I ended up blocking him. I just can't. Like the things that are said to me, like I ended up blocking a dude because when I posted a little snippet like a little scene of one of these, and it was the one where I talk about how I do my part for child trafficking and pedophilia by having abortions, and Republicans keep trying to get rid of the solution, which is abortion, because if there are no children, there's no child trafficking and there is no pedophilia, right? Satire, dark humor, right? And so I shared that, and this one guy was like, "That is the most awful, insane thing I've ever heard." And I was like, "Why does no one understand satire?" I was like, "Take a breath." It's like, "You need to take a breath based on how fast you talk." I mean, I do talk fast. So then I posted a different little one, and it was me talking about, oh, the young guy that hit on me, and when I said no, he wanted me to come teach his girlfriend how to have sex with him, like have a threesome, whatever. And then he posted this comment, and he was like, "Men hit on you," and I was like, "I'm not going to do this." First of all, he's monster ugly, which I know we're supposed to be kind, and we're not supposed to say mean things. Someone else can be kind. I just don't care anymore. I don't. People are soft. So he's ugly. And the man is so dumb. He paid so much money for bad tattoos, including one that on his back says his last name. How fucking stupid are you? So I ended up blocking him because I'm just not going to do that shit anymore. But these men just come at me, and I don't know why. I'm assuming it's because I'm a woman and they think that they can say the things and it's going to change my mind, or that I'm not smart enough to understand that they're smarter and all these things. And I am not the fucking one. I research, I look up, I read the news. I go, and I don't read right or left news. I go to impartial news. I find centrist news because I like actual news, not just propaganda. So that would be the MAGA fuckers on Facebook, and me having to delete them. Yeah, and then I ended up with dude wipes in my house, all because I wanted cupcakes. So if you're curious what ADHD shopping can look like, I've not been eating as much sugar. I'm still not doing soda, man. I haven't had a soda since June 14th, right? And today is July 30th. So pretty soon it'll be 2 months. So I haven't had soda. And for 42 sodas a week, which is a ton of soda. So I have lost weight. I'm down. It fluctuates, but it's pushing between like, I don't know, 7 and 10 pounds. And mostly I've just lost a lot of inflammation, happily enough, right in my stomach. So I'm not drinking any soda, and it was diet soda, and it was Coke Zero, like zero sodas, which makes me think if it hadn't been, I'd definitely have the fucking beatus. But one of the things that I have found out is that because I'm not triggering my sugar response with the artificial sugars, I am not binging on sugar like I used to. I haven't gotten any late night trips from, and by trips, I mean late night deliveries, because DoorDash will go to 7-Eleven. So I haven't gotten any late night munchy cravings. And for a girl who doesn't smoke weed, man, it looks like I do when I do those $60 7-Eleven trips. So I haven't been eating any sugar, and or not any sugar, but I've been eating like a tenth. And I needed cupcakes this one day. And so I found them. I was like, how do I justify someone going to the grocery store for me for a cupcake? And I ended up with dude wipes. I don't know why, but I ended up with dude wipes. And Russ walked in my house and saw the dude wipes and immediately called me and he's like, why do you have these? I have a box. I have a Costco sized box of baby wipes, like not big, you know what I mean, like the disposable wipes, which are not flushable. They're not flushable. Don't flush those. I had to have Roto Rooter come out one time because of those, and they left my gate open. My dog ran away. Whole thing, and because of these flushable wipes that are not flushable in downtown Frederick. But I ended up with 3. It was a 3-pack of fucking dude wipes, also I could get cupcakes, and he just knew immediately. He just walked in and he was like, "What'd you do?" I was like, "Man, I just wanted cupcakes. I just wanted." And they didn't, by the time the dude got there, they didn't even have the cupcakes I wanted. I ended up with a different cupcake completely because he didn't have my cupcake. So all I really got that I asked for was these dude wipes and then a random cupcake I didn't ask for. And it was a whole thing. And I thought about it. I was like, I want to cancel this order, but I made them drive out to Middletown for a cupcake. It was, God, man. All I wanted a cupcake. So that was, oh, it's hard. This is why I say it is hard in this brain of mine. It is so busy. My friend Erin has told me that I'm going to go to yoga with her on the 17th because we have 2 weeks between softball seasons. And I was like, fine, because my hips, it would probably be good for my hips. And then she was like, and we do this thing at the end. I don't know, Shashashana, I don't know what it's called. She was like, we sit there for 6 minutes in quiet and stillness and we meditate. And I was like, that is just the silliest. And she was like, you'll quiet your brain. I was like, you don't know my brain. It just never, even my dreams are loud. Just everything is so loud all the time. So I am with dude wipes. I don't need dude wipes. I mean, I will say this about the dude wipes though. They are thick, they are big, they are unscented, they are durable. I actually really enjoy the dude wipes. I like them better than the flushable wipes from Costco. Are they cost effective? No. I would guarantee that not even a little bit, but quality. So, I mean, I like them. I ended up with dude wipes. I'm probably not gonna buy them again unless I want a cupcake because they're expensive. But yeah, so that I did a whole. I mean, just God, I just got dew wipes because I wanted a cupcake. And that is how the brain works. It was ridiculous, man. I am dumb. I'm dumb. Oh, I saw two comedians. I saw Ari Shafir, who is dirty and crass. I like him so much because he's like the ultimate. I don't care what you think, and I don't care about being PC, and I don't care about feelings. I'm just gonna say it. I love it. And then this past weekend, went and saw Craig Conan, who is a recovering drug addict. Although he smokes weed and he does, in fact, abuse ayahuasca, which I didn't know was a thing that you could do like 19 times. But he's hilarious. And I have so many more. So I guess that's what, like, I think I'm down 3 of my 10 shows. I think I have like 7 left. And I love comedy so much. I highly recommend anybody finding comedians they like and going to see them, especially at the smaller clubs. It is the best. I honest to God, there is nothing as good as a belly laugh at all. Sober, not sober, I don't care what you're working with. Find a way to laugh as hard as possible because the joy I have in comedy shows, man. I think my next one might be David's Hell. And then the day after that is Fortune Feimster. And I mean, I'm just checking them off, man. I'm just checking the boxes for comedians I love. And it is the best. It is literally the best thing I've ever done was falling in love with comedy. Um, yeah, I have this line on here that says fat people in portion control. So I think that I was complaining about body positivity again and how body positivity is bullshit and how we just need to say, love your body, but maybe don't be grossly obese because it is unhealthy. And baby, don't eat 19 hot dogs. Portion control. It doesn't matter how much salad you eat if the salad is this big. I am just saying, if a salad is this big and you eat 6 of them, oh, I remember. It's because people like to talk about the food in Europe, right? Well, one, we bleach our fucking wheat, which is how everybody has a fucking gluten allergy. And then I was like, well, how can we do what they do with food? Because we mass produce. Like, our meat is garbage, right? Other countries don't want it because there's all hormone and it's never grass fed and they all hide in pens, which is how everybody gets the bird flu. And they don't do that in Europe. And so, like, how did they get without it, right? One, they don't eat as much meat as we do because we are a meat centric society. 2, portion control. They don't eat as much as we do. So if we lowered our portions and ate less meat because we don't have to be fucking pigs, then we could lower the amount of animals we need. We wouldn't have to use all the hormones. On top of that, we could actually allow them to not be kept in gross pens, which would cut down on the amount of disease that's spread. But they're not going to do that because there isn't money in less. There's only money in more. And so they're going to keep giving us gross food and we're going to keep eating it because we don't have a choice because grocery stores. But that was what I was thinking. If we just cut down on our portions and then people won't be as fat. Because if you're eating less, you're not as fat. And that is actually just actual science. If you don't eat as much, then you're not as fat. It's amazing how that works. And then it got me thinking, like, maybe what Ozempic actually does is it just makes you eat like a normal human being and not the portion size of 3 people. Because I can turn a meal at a restaurant into 3 people. Or 3 people. Not a cannibal. I can turn 1 meal at a restaurant into 3 meals now. So maybe it's just what you're supposed to eat versus what you do eat because we make such big portions. So yeah, I don't know. That's, I guess, what I got right now. So, if you still watch this, because no one really watched the last one, so I guess I've lost people. But I don't know. Thanks for being patient. Here's a new one. I guess that's all my brain's really got. And I really wish that someone would tell the country to stop paying taxes. Because maybe we should just stop paying taxes. If everybody stopped paying taxes, they couldn't do this stuff anymore. But no one will say that out loud. So it's just me in my head, in my room, in my closet, which is warm because it's 1,000 degrees outside, thinking about how if maybe the country just stopped paying taxes, we would stop funding all the things that we hate. Right? In theory, anyway. So thanks for this new angle. Look at me sitting up all straight, even though I still slouch a little bit. It's kind of comfy, right? but I don't really look like that. People that can't ever sit up straight. I do have that little like thing right there, which I'm not a fan of, but whatever. And then the people that literally are always like this. Also, look at that. That's nice, right? Look at that back. Look at that. That's a nice back. But I'm just saying, like the people who literally stand like that all the time, like it's not flexing. You just look like you can't stand up in kind of a caveman. So, in any case, Dan Man Save the Empire. Thank you so much, guys. I will see you at some point soon. Bye.